You might say Ina Garten's life has been an open book, thanks to her popular TV shows and best-selling cookbooks. But now she's opening up like never before and talking with our Rita Braver.
So we're going to start with bourbon. The key to this is that it's fresh juice. You know, so many times you go to a bar or restaurant and they make whiskey sours with like bottled lemon juice. It's just the worst.
Even making a cocktail with Ina Garten is a learning experience. But boy, is it worth it.
Cheers. Cheers to you.
Olive oil because it has a higher burning temperature, and the butter because it has great flavor.
Of course, the kitchen in her studio in East Hampton, New York,
So this takes a little time, but time takes time.
is familiar to millions of viewers. Wow. Of her Emmy Award-winning cooking shows on the Food Network. But still, someone warned me that you don't like to call yourself a chef.
Well, I'm not a trained chef.
In fact, as she writes in her new memoir, Be Ready When the Luck Happens, back in the 1970s, she and her husband Jeffrey were both working in economic policy jobs at the White House. But her after-hours therapy, as she puts it, was hosting dinner parties for friends.
And I just thought, wait a minute, this is backwards. I love what I do after hours, and what I do during the day wasn't so exciting to me.
Just after her 30th birthday, she was reading the New York Times.
And there was this little ad for a specialty food store called Barefoot Contessa. And I went home that night and I said to Jeffrey, I need to do something creative. And that was the beginning of it.
They bought the shop for $20,000, taking a second mortgage on their D.C. home. Jeffrey would commute on weekends while Ina ran the store. It seems especially surprising and daring because growing up, it seems like you were not allowed to go off the beaten track in any way.
It's not just that I wasn't allowed to go off the beaten track, I wasn't allowed to make a decision on my own.
She was born Ina Rosenberg in 1948 and grew up in Stamford, Connecticut, where her father was a doctor and her mom stayed at home. It seemed like a very comfortable life.
It was a very comfortable life.
But there was a family secret. You say that your father was prone to temper tantrums. He would physically beat you.
Well, he hit me, yeah.
And sometimes drag you around by your hair.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
I mean, come on. You have said at times you actually feared for your life.
I think I wanted to fight back, but I was afraid he would kill me.
Did your mother protect you in any way?
Maybe she was as afraid as I was.
But her life would change when she was just 16. While visiting her brother at Dartmouth College, another student named Jeffrey Garten spotted her through the library window. What did you find so attractive?
Everything. Absolutely everything. The way she was standing, she was laughing, and she was just beautiful.
He wangled an introduction, and they were married in 1968 with Jeffrey in his Army Reserve uniform.
Hi, sweetie.
Oh, that looks great.
That look good?
While he is sometimes a congenial presence on Ina's shows, he is also a noted economist.
I'd love some wine. That'd be fabulous.
I saved all the letters he wrote to me when we were in college.
Ina credits Jeffrey with giving her confidence after her miserable childhood.
Some of these I can't show you, but let's see
Why
what we
not?
have.
Why not?
Definitely not showing you that. Organized.
But not about one key thing. Were you scared that you wouldn't be a good parent?
Absolutely, 100%. Jeffrey would have been a fabulous parent, just fabulous.
And what did you think about, not having children?
I didn't think so much about it. I was very busy with just moving on, so it didn't bother me.
Ina threw herself into running the Barefoot Contessa with well-heeled Hampton's clients. I love the story about the woman who every week bought 10 pounds of lemon chicken.
Grilled lemon chicken. And finally, after weeks and weeks and weeks of this, I had to say, what are you doing with 10 pounds of grilled lemon chicken? She said, my cat likes it.
But after a while, as Ina reveals for the first time, she began to question the traditional mid-century roles in her marriage and asked Jeffrey for a separation.
I love to cook dinner, but what I don't like is for somebody to expect me to cook dinner. I think there's a big difference.
Yes, that's a great point.
Yeah.
So what I say is don't cook dinner.
They clearly worked out their problems.
You know, I love that it's a small town.
Ina moved her store to East Hampton,
We had screen doors when you walked in.
but sold it in 1996. She was restless and wanted to try something new. Bookhampton, the East Hampton bookstore.
My favorite bookstore in the world. It's the best.
So she turned her talents to writing cookbooks, the thing that really introduced her to the world outside the Hamptons. Her first, published 25 years ago, was a smash hit.
I somehow connected with home cooks in a way that I couldn't have imagined.
Now she's done 12 more.
But I think it's kind of like exercise. The more you do it, the better you get at it.
And with another cookbook on the way,
You have no idea.
and a popular TV show,
I'm here with Stanley Tucci, and he's showing me how to make a fish stew called
Cachuco.
cachuco.
Ina Garten says she's doing what she loves. And what's more, before he died, she got an apology from her father.
He said, "Whew, I don't know what I was thinking." That was it. And I realized he tortured himself as much as he tortured me. And it was over. It was so simple and it was so effective. And it meant everything. And then we went on to have a good relationship.